We're going to break this all down with Solly Moeng. He's a political commentator speaking to us from Switzerland. Solly, it's good to have you here on the News Hour on TRT World. So we're getting a bigger BRICS, rather. Does a bigger BRICS mean a better BRICS?
Well, not necessarily, because I mean, we still don't know exactly what it stands for apart from the economic interests. I think it's also some kind of renewal of the Cold War with who controls, who has influence over Africa. South Africa, which still holds a very important geostrategic position. Russia saying to America, look, we don't need your dollar anymore, especially following the sanctions that we imposed on us. Remember, one of the first things that Putin said was, well, if you want to buy our oil and gas, you must do it. You must buy it. You must buy it in ruble. So look, I think that BRICS is inevitable. It's happening. It's going to grow. The only thing is that if you look at many of the countries involved in it, they don't even know what the expression human rights mean, and that is the scary part. So if people of Africa were to be in trouble because of any of their leaders, it's not to Russia or to China that they can run to, because they're not going to get help from there. These guys have already said, we're interested in you guys, and they're talking about the African leaders, and we're not going to interfere in your internal affairs. Even if you kill your people, it's not our business, and that's a big problem.
But Solly, do you think that African countries can leverage their position within BRICS, especially a country like South Africa that still has very strong economic ties? I mean, the US and Europe are South Africa's biggest trading partners, but also has, if I could call it, the sentimental ties towards Russia because of Moscow's support during apartheid. But surely South Africa should be able to use this in their favor.
Yeah, I think we should be careful about saying between South Africa is not the African National Congress. The ANC has got sentimental ties towards Russia. South Africa doesn't have sentimental ties towards
But the
Russia.
ANC is still the ruling party of the country, and they have been in power since 1994.
Correct, but they are not a popular government in South Africa. The people of South Africa are not behind the ANC today as they were when Mandela and in the early years. So it's not a popular government in South Africa, the ANC, and they are very scared they might lose elections next year. So anyway, in any case, the ANC is the governing party, or I like to call it the misgoverning party in South Africa, because it's led South Africa into BRICS. I think BRICS is a reality. My only caution would be that we shouldn't go into these formations with emotions. We mustn't look for love in the wrong places. We must also not do it to show the middle finger to the West. We still have a lot of interest with America, with Europe, with other parties. I think we need to go into for a foreign policy that is balanced. We of course want to have relationships with all these countries that are involved with BRICS, including the new ones that have just been invited in there. But I think we must not lose our identity. I like that Mandela used to say that South Africa's foreign policy must always be underpinned by a consideration to human rights. And I'm fearful that with Saudi Arabia, I mean, look at the Khashoggi story. Look at Iran kills women who don't do what they're supposed to do as prescribed by the religious leaders there. None of the countries, China, Russia, Vladimir Putin kills, imprisons, exiles anybody who disagrees with him. China is not known for human rights. I'm just worried that if we go in there without a clear, strong identity about what is acceptable and what is not acceptable and what we're looking for, we're going to get lost. And I see a lot of people are celebrating this because they think it's going to be economically beneficial for South Africa. Yes, in some way it's going to be, but it mustn't just be based on the possibility of all the loans that must be repaid in the future that we're going to get or continue getting from the BRICS Bank. So I think that it's not very clear that people are going into this formation with the right intentions or with clarity in mind.
Yeah, it seems there still is a lot of clarity that will be needed here. Solly Moeng, appreciate your analysis. Thank you so much.